microphone I got. Front and center. Oh, first things first, everybody. Oh, wow. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Let's see. Okay, this is complicated. And I'm a song guy. Wow. Hello, everybody. Is that too loud? Okay. Wow. There are so many people here. I cannot believe this. Thank you all for coming after the horrible tragedy that was last year. For those who don't know me, my name is Stephen Sauls. You might also know me as Sound Guy Steve from last year. If you don't know me, I'm the best of 9 kids. I live in Hayhira, Georgia. Oh boy. I wrote this act, well, I started writing this act back in August. And as I started writing it, I made sure to put in the part where we all thank the Oxendines for their really hard work. So everybody give the Oxendines a huge round of applause. Because if you've been in that Shindig Facebook group, and soon to be the MeWe group, I hear, you will know that their main focus, or one of their main focuses, has been to make this as normal as possible. And I think they've really done that. So that being said, thank you all. 2020 was weird. We know this. Back in 2019, people were kind of optimistic. You know, everybody was saying, I saw all the Facebook posts. I'm a big Facebook guy, if you can't tell by the sweater that makes me look like I'm 70. Huge Facebook guy, and I was seeing all these posts. I got 2020 vision. I can see it happening. This is going to be my year. The prosperity gospel people were naming and claiming. They were claiming jets and houses and money, and us Baptists, thank you for calling us out, Tim. We bought bigger casserole dishes. The Methodists, I guess they were being methodical or whatever they do. But there was actually one denomination that got it right. And that was the Calvinists. Because each year, I hope I'm not about to offend some people. Each year, they've been voting on totally depraved. They finally got it in 2020. Oh, so we blame you for causing COVID-19, my bad. So I recently disobeyed the almighty CDC, and I took a plane trip from Valdosta, Georgia, where I live, up to Charleston, West Virginia to go see my grandma. And it was an amazing experience, but it was the first time I had flown too. And needless to say, I was nervous. I was optimistic because I'm an optimistic homeschooler. But I was nervous too. Oh boy, and I had heard the Tsa Horror Stories. Anybody ever flown? You know about the TSA? You know about these people that think everybody are terrorists? Well, I thought I could just go in and be the absolute nicest guy that they had ever met. So when some poor soul saw me walk up in TSA, "Good morning! How are you doing?" "I'm here to take a flight." "What? You need to touch everything I own in the middle of a global pandemic?" "No problem. I am not a terrorist." "What? You need me to stand in front of this radioactive scanner?" "No problem at all. I am not a terrorist." You need me to get rid of this deodorant that definitely might be an explosive?" "No problemo, I am not a terrorist." And you know, I didn't have my bomb with me because my grandpa told me not to put anything in the bag that went tick, 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 tick. So you know, I left my bomb at home, but they really did confiscate my deodorant. And if any act of terrorism did happen on that plane, it was confiscating my deodorant. I'll let y'all figure that one out. People were being held hostage. Oh boy. And I couldn't keep my mouth shut either. I was like, have you tried this brand? It is the bomb, yo. I'm just kidding, I didn't say that. Oh, well it is so cool. It is so cool being here with y'all, conservative homeschoolers, because y'all are my crowd. Like, y'all are the people that I like interacting with. And one of those reasons is because y'all don't really ascribe to the politically correct agenda of, well, one that got exponentially bigger in 2020. I'm not going to say anything rash. Some of y'all are tense. I can see some people like, he's about to say something racist. I promise. I won't. But really, and I'm also white, and if you learned anything from 2020, it's that white people can't be politically incorrect. And I'm white. I'm wearing a dark sweater, but I'm so white that if you get tomato sauce on my arm, that stain doesn't come out for like 3 days. Oh. But I like hanging out with y'all because I can be like, might want to turn your cameras off for this one. Does anybody believe in properly disciplining your kids? Put it that way for the cameras. Show of hands, show of hands. Anybody, wow, so quite a couple people. Not a lot of child participation on that one. Can't imagine why. Kids, I used to believe in not spanking your children. But then I met some small public schoolers. Trust me, when you pick up a toddler and they punch you in the face, you will make them cut the switch. Oh boy, I can't tell anybody, I'm not allowed to tell anybody that being overweight might be might be unhealthy for their body. And I thought it would be something like identity politics. Like, I thought I got a fat pass. Turns out, nope. People don't like to hear that. So my theory is that in a couple of years, you'll have to start using very politically correct terms to refer to the enlarged of America. We'll have people out here say, oh no, you can't say they're fat. You have to call them a Fat-African American. Or if you're just talking about one person, like a person of blubber, or a POV or something like that. Tim told me I wasn't allowed to laugh at my own jokes, but that was. I laughed when I came up with that one. I was at work in my office. A lot of these jokes came to me when I was at my office, and just kind of bored. Hadn't had any. I'm a web developer for people who don't know. I manage a website, so nobody had asked me to do anything with the site, so I'm just sitting here, just like, oh yeah. And all of a sudden, it kind of came to me. And I was laughing in my office, and people came in, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, thinking. Oh my goodness. Well, we did actually have one member of our family that went off the politically correct deep end, and it was somebody I didn't expect. It was the family dog. We took the poor guy to the vet one day and got him fixed. And he came back and slept it off. He woke up and his bark had went from woof woof to bark bark guys, bark bark. Oh, it was horrible. He started reading Washington Post. He started drinking Starbucks, and one day I caught him trying on skinny jeans. That was the day we drew the line. We were like, he told me he was a socialist one day too. I said, now why are you a socialist? He said, I just think that health care and vet visits and food and water and shelter are my rights, And I was like, well, that kind of makes sense. And then I realized I was paying for all that, so that didn't really work out. So he's not a socialist anymore. He actually got a job. He's a watchdog now, and he's like really accurate. He gets it down to the minute. Like, I don't even carry a watch now. He's just that accurate. Well, I suppose I may have bored you all long enough. So I'm gonna tell one more story. And again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate that there's such a large crowd here. This is the largest crowd I've ever done stand-up comedy in front of. And to be honest, I did it in front of my family, and they didn't laugh a whole lot. So. Oh, but they like to pick on me too. But I've always thought that picking on siblings is like picking on a scab. It feels good when you do it, but then your mom yells at you, and then they come back and they're like 2 times as mean. So. Oh, but this last story, I was doing some research, and I was just kind of, my dad does a lot of etymology research. Like, he likes to look at the meaning of words, or like the origins and the meaning. So, and I definitely follow him in that. But I was looking at the etymology of the word Jesus. Some of y'all might know that word. But what I found was that the Hebrew version, or more so like what he was kind of actually called, was Yeshua, or so I've heard. Some may correct me. But Yeshua is actually a shortened version of Yehoshua, which is the Hebrew word for Joshua. So that being said, Jesus, the modernized version of Jesus, is actually a shortened version of Joshua, which means that technically we could say Jesus' name was Josh. And looking at the history, we found that Yeshua was actually a pretty common name. But these days, we don't really call people Jesus today. That name is kind of reserved. And that name came a couple centuries after he had passed away. Kind of became biblical canon, I guess. But today, we don't really see anybody really being called Jesus, except that actually works with a guy, a Filipino guy, whose name is Jesus, which he spells like Jesus. That being said, one day, I wake up, I get out of bed, I'm all kind of, bleary-eyed, groggy, per my nature, and I'm walking to the kitchen to get something to eat. And, just stroll along through the kitchen, all of a sudden, I hear my dad's phone go, "Bing!" And I was walking, and then all of a sudden, because I'm nosy, okay? I mean, some of y'all would do it too. In fact, a lot of y'all would go. So, I look to see who's texting my dad, and turns out, my father is being texted by the Prince of Peace, the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, winner of the Best Wine in Cana Award circa AD 30. Jesus the Christ. I saw that, and y'all, I started talking like a Pharisee. I was like, who is this Jesus? How does he know my father so well? Oh, but y'all, ladies and gentlemen, to close, what actually sent me over the edge was what the text said. It said, and I quote, "I am on my way."